What's up, Lions? It's your boy Mason Jyree, and if you're new to the Lions, then welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are not new, then you already know what's going on here. And what's going on, we getting bigger and bigger, we getting better and better, and we shitting on anybody and everybody who said we aren't who we are. Lions, before I get started, I want to tell you guys to stream Bigger. Make sure you're checking out Bigger and Ain't No Love Away FR, which are the two singles on my upcoming album, Life After Heartbreak, which will be out at the top of next year. Okay. You remember how last summer I was telling y'all to get y'all coin together? This is the time when you have to get your coin together. Yes, make sure you have your 799 ready for at the top of next year. If you don't have your 799 ready, exit the Lions Den immediately. Exit the Lions Den immediately. Okay? Give me 1 second, Lions. So overall, today was a really good day. Overall, today was a really good day. Everything was good, everything was great. And other than that, I want to talk about a couple things. I'm waiting until more people get on the live, so I can talk, so I can really get jiggy with everything, But Lions, it's so many different things that I want to say. I know I want to talk a little bit about a conversation I had with somebody today. I know I want to talk a little bit about, just my love life and how things are becoming. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is getting too spicy, but it's getting a little hectic, a little crazy. So, yeah. So, like I said, I want to talk to y'all about today, a conversation I had today, just some things that I've been noticing in my, behind the scenes in my love life and stuff like that, and in my everyday life. So, I was talking to somebody from my hometown today, and essentially, apparently, the people in my hometown, they thought when I stopped making music in front of them, they thought I had stopped making music. So I was just telling him, I was like, yeah, I never stopped, and I told him, I just now I'm in a point of like ownership and refining my brand. And I told him, I was like, I didn't know anything about a brand and anything like that. I didn't know. I was just making music and putting it out. I didn't know anything about publishing. Only thing I knew was about royalties. I didn't have a knowledge for this. So he was like, for real, for real. He was like, when you make it, they're gonna be hating, right? He was like, when you make it, they're gonna be hating. I was like, they're hating now. He was like, they really are. And he was like, he's like, I can see it for you, which I already knew that, but yeah, so that was just a conversation that me and him, that I had today. Like a lot of people thought because I stopped, well, I never stopped. A lot of people thought that I stopped making music like 21 after, because when you first start your hometown, they get it, and then it's kind of like a, you know what I mean? It's the buzz, and then it fades away. So apparently, they thought when I phased away, I had stopped. No, I was just morphing and, just evolving and I'm, literally becoming who I am now. And he asked me, he was like, what was your first name? So I gave him all my first, my first couple names. And I was like, but it's Mason Jyree, this is my government name. This is it. This album is very, very important. Like I was telling him, like the sounds of it, everything is just a good nostalgic, a good time. It's very, very fun. You're never gonna meet an artist who gives you real life and music at the same time. So, that's just that. Give me 1 second. So that's just essentially what me and him was talking about. But it was a big full circle moment for me because I was like, yeah, they are gonna have to eat that. They're gonna have to sit back and watch me succeed while they sit where they are because they thought I wasn't gonna be the one. They thought I wasn't gonna make it. So yeah, great feeling, love it. So Lions, something else I really want to talk about, and let's really just get into this for real. Things are getting a little, territorial behind the scenes in the Lions Den. I see that I'm stepping into a season where the people who are, wanting to be my friend, wanting to date me, they're getting a little territorial, you know. And it's like, it's some people they like their territory. They say they don't like it, but they low key do. I'm one of them people. It's like I'm. Thank you for showing me that you vibe with me, but I'm a little bit nervous. I don't know how to take it a little bit. I don't know how to take it. So like I don't know how to put it, because let's go back in time for a second. Y'all know growing up, I was big. Growing up, I was 200, 300, and about 300 pounds. So I didn't really get hit on or anything like that. I didn't get hit on. I didn't really have, any of that. So now that like, the hitting on has been going on for a while and everything like that, the hitting on has already been going on. but it's it's different to have people like be like, nah, you're mine type energy, even though I'm not theirs. I think that's one of the biggest things that I've been working on behind the scenes, in my personal life, behind the scenes, in my love life, and in my, we're gonna be honest, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and say friendships. In my love life, I feel like I've been working on the power dynamics and the power balances, because some people think when they come into my life that they can, some people think when they come into my life they can overdo it. Some people think when they come into my life, they see what I'm doing, what I'm building for myself, and they're like, "Ooh, I want to get that," or "Ooh, I want to lock that down or control that." And it's like I have to remind people, no, 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 no. It's how do I put this? Because deep down inside, I want peace. So it is like, and I know I'm the type of person, when I let you know my boundaries, it does come off a little, okay. And I hate to get like that with people, but it's like, nah, you're not gonna come into my life and do too much with me, and that it's like I'm not one to be controlled, but I feel like it's weird because people somewhere in some people's mind they feel like they can, And I'm not saying people, I'm saying the people who want to date me, or like, even the people who I have dated before, who like it was just like weird stuff, like just stuff I'm not going for anymore. And I think one of the main things that I'm learning, and y'all know me, if you're new to the Lions Den, I'm Mason Jyree, and I get a little bit of passionate, when I'm speaking about myself and about the things that I'm passionate about. So um one thing about me is like I've never been the type that you can tie down for real. Like I've never been the type that you can tie down or like, try to control me. So now that my career is elevating, my brand is elevating, and I'm elevating, not only like career wise, but physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially, people are coming into my life. It's people, and one thing I can say, like, even with aside from the artists, I could really be a psychologist or like a sociologist, because I understand like the classes that people are in, like, you know what I mean? And it's like it's people from all different walks of life, men, women. One thing I've talked to y'all about is that like I've been getting a lot of pressure from women, um, as far as when it comes to like me, like this one thing I can say, some women feel like they can make you straight. It's like I just be getting a lot of pressure, a lot of pressure from the women, a lot of pressure from the men, a lot of pressure. I just be getting pressure, pressure, pressure. And I think it's like, okay, I gotta remain firm in who I am, because it's like literally thank goodness I'm not full of ego or whatever, but I'm the type of person I can walk into the room and I'll have people fighting over me. I will have people fighting and not say a word, just because it's how I give it up. It's my, you gotta get with me. But it's like I'm not full of ego. So a person full of ego, they would get in the room and they would like everybody in the room falling over them or fawning over them. I'm not one of them. I get it. I understand. But because it gets to a point where I really like peace for real. I don't like all that, like, all that I don't like all that nitpicking and all that going back and forth, especially not over me. When we all can, I'm not gonna say share, but it's not that deep, y'all. Like it's not that deep. Like it's not that deep. It will never be another Mason Jyree ever at all. And we're not doing any sharing over here at all. I'm actually playing, but don't fight. You know what I mean? Don't fight for real. So it's like, yeah, it's just a lot of different things going on behind the scenes. As far as my love life and my career and stuff like that. It's a lot of different things. And I want y'all to know that my career is tied into me doing what I'm doing right now. So my career is me being honest. My career is me talking about things about my life, my love life, everything that's going on, because it's a different type of story. It's a specific type of story. You know what I mean? It's not meant for everybody, but it's meant for a good group. It's, this next season, this next era of my life, I want y'all to know y'all got to stay tuned like you never stayed tuned before. And it's not no corny cliche shit. People, y'all pretty sure y'all have heard this before, but I feel back in my body. I feel like myself. I feel like Mason Jyree, I'm on the scene. I'm really on the scene. I'm working. I got some major performances coming up this year. I got one more song dropping. I got a lot of different that I'm working on, and I just want to give y'all the forefront of like, the things that are going on behind the scenes in my life. And one of the biggest things that I can say, is me exploring when it comes to love, is me like figuring out my boundaries, what I will tolerate and what I won't tolerate, and what I will go for or what I won't go for. That's the whole point of the album. You know what I mean? It's life after heartbreak. And I think me being who I am, it's important for me to like talk about my experiences and my story and just my life as far as life after heartbreak, what life is like, what life has been like for me, because I'm not just anybody. I'm Mason Jyree. And on top of the superstardom, I have a major purpose. So when I talk about what I talk about, it's major and it needs to be respected and heard. And it will be. You know what I mean? So that is just that. Listen, 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 listen. Major shout out to Tanasi Antonio LeVay. Shout out to both of y'all. Listen, shout out to both of y'all. The Lions Den is getting bigger. Y'all don't understand the magnitude of what we are stepping into. Because listen, my fans, the people who support me, my fans, y'all don't understand. We're in this together. We are in this together. We are growing. Like we are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And to my day ones who've been rocking with me, I cannot wait for y'all to see where I'm going and what we have in store. Like this is amazing. Like literally. With that being said, it's your boy Mason Jyree. And if you're new to the Lions Den, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are not new, then you already know what's going on here. And what's going on right now, we're getting bigger and bigger and better and better. And we're shitting on anybody and everybody who said we aren't who we are. It's your boy Mason Jyree. I'll see you guys later on. And make sure you check out Bigger. Make sure you stream Bigger. Make sure you tell your baby cousin, sister, mama Tracy about Bigger because that's what we doing. I love you, Lions. And I won't